Emily's baking class. 1. The invitation. One Saturday morning, Emily was reading her emails when she noticed something exciting. "Look at this," she said to her husband, John. "There's a new baking class in town. And they're offering lessons on how to bake cakes, cookies, and bread." John smiled. "That sounds like fun. You love baking?" Emily nodded. "I've always wanted to improve my baking skills. Maybe I should sign up for the class." She thought about how much she enjoyed baking at home with her kids, Lily and Jack, but she always wanted to learn more professional techniques. The idea of joining a class made her feel both excited and a little nervous. "Go for it, Emily," John encouraged. "It'll be a great experience, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot." So, Emily signed up for the baking class, which was scheduled for the following week. She couldn't wait to start. 2. The first day of class. The following Thursday, Emily arrived at the bakery where the class was being held. The bakery smelled wonderful, with the aroma of fresh bread and cakes filling the air. The class was small, with about 10 people. And the instructor, Chef Marie, welcomed everyone with a big smile. "Welcome to our baking class," Chef Marie said. "Today, we're going to start with a simple but delicious cake. I'll teach you how to make a vanilla sponge cake with buttercream frosting." Emily felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as she put on her apron and found her place at one of the baking stations. She had baked cakes at home before, but this was her first time learning from a professional baker. "We'll go step by step. So don't worry if you're new to baking," Chef Marie continued. "The most important thing is to have fun and enjoy the process." 3. Preparing the ingredients. The first step in making the cake was preparing the ingredients. Chef Marie explained how important it was to measure everything carefully. "Baking is like science," she said. "If you use too much or too little of an ingredient, the cake won't turn out right." Emily followed the instructions carefully. She measured out the flour, sugar, eggs, and butter. She also prepared the vanilla extract and baking powder, making sure everything was ready before starting. As Emily worked, she looked around at the other students. Some of them were experienced bakers, while others, like her, were learning new skills. It made her feel more comfortable knowing she wasn't the only one learning. "I hope my cake turns out okay," Emily thought, feeling a little nervous. But she reminded herself to focus and enjoy the process. 4. Baking the cake. With the ingredients ready, it was time to start mixing everything together. Chef Marie showed the class how to mix the butter and sugar until they were light and fluffy. Then, they added the eggs and vanilla. "Make sure you mix everything well," Chef Marie said. "But be careful not to overmix, or the cake might be too dense." Emily followed along, carefully mixing the ingredients and watching as the batter became smooth and creamy. She poured the batter into a round cake pan and placed it in the oven. As the cakes baked, the smell of vanilla filled the kitchen. Emily felt proud of herself for getting this far and couldn't wait to see how her cake would turn out. While waiting for the cakes to bake, the students chatted and shared their experiences with baking. Emily learned that many of them had taken cooking classes before, but this was their first time baking cakes. 5. Decorating the cake. After the cakes had finished baking and cooled down, it was time to decorate them. Chef Marie demonstrated how to make buttercream frosting and showed the class different techniques for spreading and decorating the cake. First, spread a thin layer of frosting over the cake, Chef Marie explained. This is called a crumb coat, and it helps keep the crumbs from mixing with the frosting. After that, you can add the final layer and decorate as you like. Emily was excited about this part of the class. She loved the creative aspect of decorating cakes and wanted to make her cake look as beautiful as possible. She spread the buttercream frosting carefully, making sure it was smooth and even. Once the frosting was on, Chef Marie brought out sprinkles, edible flowers, and other decorations. Emily decided to use pastel-colored sprinkles and small sugar flowers to make her cake look elegant and fun. 6. The final taste test. After everyone had finished decorating their cakes, it was time for the best part, tasting. The students gathered around a large table with their cakes, eager to try their creations. Now comes the moment of truth, Chef Marie said with a smile. Let's see how your cakes taste. Emily cut a slice of her cake and took a bite. The vanilla sponge was soft and light, and the buttercream frosting was sweet and creamy. She felt a wave of satisfaction wash over her. This is delicious, Emily said, smiling at Chef Marie. I can't believe I made this. Chef Marie nodded. You did a wonderful job. You followed the instructions carefully, and it shows in the result. The other students also enjoyed their cakes, and there was a lot of laughter and compliments as they shared their creations. Emily felt proud of what she had accomplished and couldn't wait to show her family. 7. Sharing the cake with the family. When Emily got home that evening, she brought the cake to the kitchen, where John, Lily, and Jack were waiting excitedly. Mom, did you bring us something? Jack asked, his eyes wide with excitement. Emily smiled and uncovered the cake. I made this in my baking class today. Who wants to try some? Lily and Jack cheered and ran to the table. Emily cut slices of cake for everyone, and they all took a bite. This is amazing, Lily said, her mouth full of cake. You're such a good baker, Mom. John nodded. This is one of the best cakes I've ever had. You did a fantastic job, Emily. Emily felt happy and proud. Not only had she learned new skills in the class, but she had also made something special for her family to enjoy. Maybe I'll make another cake this weekend, Emily said with a smile. There's still so much more to learn.